Yeah. I think I'm gonna play with Dusky
Hello, Internet.
tonight. Rainbow.
Welcome to Tales of Jemmora, Leafdancer, a sort of special, we'll call it a side campaign, to our currently running story arc, The Kraken's Wake. This is a series of, we'll call them interconnected one-shots, that are tangentially related to the main storyline. But also gives us an opportunity to try out different things. So, I am your dungeon master, Sean Hayes, and with me are Courtney.
Hey, everybody.
Playing.
I'm feeling better.
Sister Monica Joan. Heather, playing Moda, halfling monk, and joining us this time is Sean playing Belladora, a human druid.
What's up?
So, this does mean that there will not be an appearance by Sir Muntz, but that is fine. So, who knows? Maybe if he gets rambunctious, we may see IRL Sir Muntz. So,
Yes.
or if somebody wants to drop that 100 pie cakes to get him on stream, since nobody seems to want to do that. So, there will be a break around 8:30, so in about an hour and a half. So 5-10 minute break. But aside from that, last time on Tales of Jemmora Leafdancer, Sister Monica Joan and Moda, accompanied by esteemed Leafdancer adventurer extraordinaire Sir Muntz, were tasked to basically get established in Dusky Shores. They were sort of led to a rundown, decrepit building that was their headquarters. It was purchased at a steal price, and set to investigate a haunted house just outside town, with any rumors of the prospect of treasure, or potential, just ghost butt kicking that needed to be done. Upon further investigation, the house may actually have been haunted? Question mark?
I ain't scared of no ghosts.
There were certainly spooky, scary skeletons there, as well as what appeared to be a smuggling operation. The group was unable to fend off the smugglers as they were a bit outnumbered. But managed to escape without any incident.
We didn't die.
And then reported such activity to the town council, who rewarded them. This night's session is going to take place a couple days later. At this point, yes. Yes. So there's certainly nights of rest. At this point, Belladora has arrived in town from their other adventures, and have finally met up with the rest of you and have become acquainted. Sir Muntz took his leave and said that one of the first tasks that you should be doing is making arrangements for a major domo, or at least a house manager to sort of manage the headquarters while you are away. That is beneath his station, so he will not do it. Additionally, over the past few days, although you've been able to get rest, your nights of sleep are fitful, we'll say. Visions of sort of the horrors encountered in the haunted house, between spooky skeletons and the giant spiders that nearly consumed you all, and the centipedes that crawled out through the drain pipes. But mostly the very sort of disconcerting image of the sort of spectral claws scraping against the window as you were leaving is an image that sort of haunts your memories. Not to mention the unearthly moaning that was persistent.
Oh, that sounds super happy.
Through
Yeah.
the
Haunts
house.
my nightmares. Haunts my nightmares.
There have also been a few reports of townsfolk seeing unusual figures shambling around late at night. Since
in the
then,
house? Or
in town. In town.
We let something go, Moda.
Oh.
What did we do?
I
know.
Say we didn't do it?
I don't know. I don't know.
The superstitious folk of Dusky Shores are claiming that given that they see sort of bony hands and fingers poking out from under cloaks as these figures are shambling about, that the dead have stirred and come to life. And folks have taken to forming sort of crude wards and fetishes and placing them outside their doors out of turnips and various gourds in sort of ghastly visages, and putting candles or magical lighting within them. Folks are also making offerings to Ramka, the god of death, and knowledge, by also sort of offering up scripts and books to the local temple, so that the sort of temple next to the graveyard has also doubled as a library, and has certainly gained quite a collection over the past few days. And people are also making the symbol of Ramka above their doors as a means to ward off the supposed undead.
Great. Just great. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, this is great.
Nothing could possibly go wrong. Nothing at all.
No.
No.
On the third day, it's about, let's say, 2:00 in the morning. And at this point, Bellador, you have also reached this building, and have gotten yourself set up there. It is a 2-story building. It has a Leafdancer sign out front to denote that it is property of the Leafdancer company. But this building is in rough shape.
Falling apart.
It certainly gives you ample materials to work with. We'll put it that way.
Perfect.
But you all hear at some point during the night, there's just this tapping and rapping at the windows.
Tapping upon my chamber door?
Yes. And scratching at the windows.
No spiders! No! Moda!
It's not the spiders, it's the centipedes.
Moda, there's something out there.
I'm sure there's a lot of somethings out there.
Go away.
I don't like this. I gotta get up out of my bed. I'm starting to get a little cranky from not getting enough sleep. And not getting like fully restful sleep. So I want to go like look at the window, like slowly creep
Okay.
quietly, silently with my feline. Just
Okay.
look at
Let's
the window.
see. You have dark vision?
Do I have dark vision?
You do have dark vision. Okay. So it is dark. But you are able, with your feline-like senses, you're able to pick up on the sort of low light. Although it's not as dark as it would seem, as there is the light of a full moon shining down.
Of course. Yeah. Because why not?
So,
Why not?
so it gives you a bit of dim light in order to see. However, you're able to see that there are, in fact, evidence of scratches upon the window pane.
Our rooms are upstairs, right?
Yes.
Moda,
I poke my
there's
head out. What?
something was at the window.
It was probably a bird. It was a
No,
bird.
no, birds don't do these noise. These scratches.
Have you ever seen the claws of an eagle? Eagles have big claws. They can make big scratches.
But eagles don't scratch like this.
Have you ever seen the scratches of an eagle?
But eagles don't scratch like this.
Have you ever seen the scratches from an eagle? How do you know?
Oh. But why would an eagle scratch at the window?
Maybe there's a mouse in here. I mean, you see where we live here?
Have we seen any mice?
You have seen the occasional rat scurry through.
Even better.
We don't need any Capri Sun pouches. No, this isn't right. This isn't good. This isn't good. We Moda, we messed up last time. There was something there, and it's not. No, we have to go back.
Did Muntz say anything to us about like what we should be doing and what needs to happen before he left?
You recall, I mean, it's only been a few days. So he made a bit of a mention that he was going to essentially draft up a report to bring back to headquarters and was going to make his way back there. That he recommended to follow up with the town council just about the smuggling activities. But he's still convinced that there's treasure in the haunted house, and thus that you should go back there, and to clean everything up, and that he still maintains totally haunted, 100% haunted, and that there's ghosts that need to be exorcised from the property.
I mean, there was something nasty in the well.
Here's my initial thought. If there's no place to haunt, can they continue haunting it?
Burn it?
Can we go burn the place down? It does have the spiders, and that is the usual treatment of houses for spiders. You burn them down.
No, because then they would get out more.
Didn't he mention something about treasure?
Yeah?
I mean,
treasure
shouldn't
doesn't
we-
melt.
Shouldn't we find that first?
Treasure doesn't melt.
You don't know that. Depends on the treasure.
I mean, the stuff that matters doesn't melt at a high the
Depends
temperature
on
that a house burns.
who it matters to. Tomes of ancient knowledge would torch in a second.
But
Are right
gold
there.
doesn't burn until 1600 degrees.
And if you
Think
burn a house down, it might get that hot.
Dude,
I mean,
a
I don't
church
know.
burning doesn't get that hot. So,
Exactly.
Depends on what's inside of it.
oh,
I'm just saying we need to be a little more careful here.
I'm sorry, Sean, your grin is just getting me.
Mwah.
Fine, we'll go deal with the things.
Yeah. I mean, there's, it's not right.
I'm sure
We
there's
have to-
only a few dozen giant spiders. It's nothing we can't handle.
You didn't see it last time. You didn't
Like
have
I
them
said,
crawling all over you.
I'm
It
sure
was
that's all it is.
nasty.
Just giant person-sized spiders.
He's a person-sized spider I could try and ride.
You can try.
Yeah.
Or maybe it'll try riding you.
You do recall there wasn't one that big.
No, they were
That we've seen yet.
Why do you do this? You've only been here for like 2 days, and you.
I simply
even more-
want you to be prepared. Mentally, physically, emotionally. Managing the expectations.
Not okay with this. But we do need
Nope.
to go set those spirits, and something spirit-like is really there. How else can you describe the thing that was at the
Sure.
window when we left?
All right.
We
I
have
mean, we
to.
may have like raised the leader of the undead.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't be that bad, right?
But we need to set them at
It's fine.
rest. But we need to set them at rest.
So let's go take care of the. I don't know. Do the undead rest after you kill them again?
Sure.
I mean,
We'll go with that. Yeah, I like it.
we'll go with that.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Yep. Because I see nothing else more that we could do. We have to.
All right. Do we have to go at 2 in the morning?
I mean, it's when the
No.
spirits are out, right?
No. We do not need to go in the middle of the night. I do not think.
We could.
I say we go first thing at first light, though. That way
I
we
think
have
so
as
too.
because that way we have as much light as possible
Suddenly,
to like the longest amount of time of light to deal with all of it.
you all
Mhm.
hear an impact against the side of the house.
Okay, going back up to the window. What do I see?
Yep, I'm trying to check it out too.
Yep.
Give me. So one of you, whoever's taking point, give me an investigation check with advantage. An intelligence investigation check with advantage.
I will.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
That
Okay.
fell out of my hand. That was not a roll. um. Uh. Six.
Okay, with advantage.
With advantage.
Okay.
Lovely.
Yep.
So, you
It
do
was so
see.
close. It was was so close.
There is evidence of
And-
something impacted with the side of the house at the ground level. You're not sure what it was. You just know that it definitely caused some exterior damage to the house. And I mean, you do see that there is movement of figures sort of in the street.
There's somebody out there. There's something out there.
Well, you see there. I mean, there's movement from multiple figures out in the street.
Yeah, there's stuff out there. There's
Should we go say hi?
You first.
I'm gonna grab the pitchfork and the torch because this house cannot stand any more damage. And if they're gonna damage the house, I'm gonna damage something else.
Okay.
I'll grab my walking stick and I'll make my way outside.
I grabbed my mace on the way out.
Okay.
Yeah, quarterstaff is.
So you.
But I follow Bella. I'm
Okay.
not going first.
No, I'll go first.
Sweet, I got you. I got your six, Moda.
Okay.
Sean, really quick. So we've gotten the long rest. Are we back at full hit points, or
Oh,
do we
yeah.
have points of exhaustion or anything? Okay.
Nope.
All right. Thank you.
It's been a few days since your adventure, so yeah, you're all fully recuperated.
We haven't been
Awesome.
sleeping the best, but we've been sleeping.
Yeah. It's just it's enough to make you grumpy, not enough to mechanically cause you any problems.
Perfect. Thank you.
So. Okay. So Moda, you said you were going to. Are you grabbing literal torches and pitchforks?
No, I've grabbed my quarterstaff, and my quarterstaff is ready to go,
Okay.
and I'm gonna hurt something.
Okay. Are you grabbing a light source?
I should probably do that.
As
I will grab an actual torch.
as I've grabbed my mace, I'll cast light on it.
Okay.
I am behind you, but
Okay.
yeah.
So you do this, and the three of you exit your abode and venture out into the streets of Dusky Shores. As I said, it's light of the full moon, so outside of your radius of bright light, it's dim light.
And it's
so
a
you're able to
pink
see
bright
some.
light.
It's that?
It's a
Oh, your
pink
bright light. Okay.
light.
So it's slightly pink. Okay.
Yes. Because it can be whatever color I like.
Yep.
And I would want it to be pink.
Okay.
Sorry, flavor.
I think I would be
With this-
holding a small flame from Produce Flame in my hand as well.
Okay. And I think that produces some kind of bright light, like a torch, maybe.
Yeah,
right?
10-foot radius, bright light, dim for another 10.
Okay. So yeah, so there's plenty of light to go around. You see, there are many different figures. Some are shambling around in the street. And you hear just this general sound that you, the players, can actually hear. That just sounds like a rattling of bones as many of these figures are roaming about. With very long cloaks and robes. Hoods are drawn. And the sleeves are long enough that they cover the hands as well. So it's almost a comical look. Sort of like almost like an old-timey ghost kind of a thing with
These
like
are
big
cultish, cultish zombies is what I'm imagining.
possibly.
Yeah.
Um,
Or cultish
Ad-
skeletons.
additionally, there are also out of the corner of your eye, you also detect like much faster movement. Not enough to really see what's going on, but just enough to detect
Just
there's
enough to see
quick flickers of movement just outside the range of your vision. And that goes for everybody.
What was that? What was that?
Hello? Hello?
Hey, is anybody hurt?
When you ask that, you see several of the cloaked figures stop and turn toward your direction and begin shambling their way toward you.
Ooh, shambling.
Did you just
Hello?
run into our house?
Can we help you?
There is no response.
You know, you could have knocked if you needed help. You didn't need to slam into the house.
There's still no response.
Don't
Stop. We're here for good things.
How many of them are there?
Give me a perception check.
You do it, not me.
Yeah, no.
$13.
There look to be about a half dozen that are making your way from various directions.
Making my way downtown.
Nice.
You're already downtown.
I know. They're making their way downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Further towards us.
I'll menacingly brandish my walking stick.
Yeah, I don't want to...
They're getting just to the edge of the light. The bright light at this point.
So they're about 20 feet away.
Yep.
Okay.
And at this point, you're basically encircled by a half a dozen of these figures.
Back to back to back.
Ready to go.
No, we don't want to do this.
No. Not right now.
Actually, I don't want to do this, and I'm gonna run inside.
Okay.
I
Thanks.
don't want to fight in the middle of the night. Maybe if we stay quiet, they'll leave us alone.
As you go to run away,
Yep.
one of them sort of lurches out to try and grab you.
Yeah.
You manage to break free,
Mm-hmm.
but not before it does sort of catch you, and you manage to easily throw it off. But not before the hood gets thrown back and the sleeves kind of get thrown up, and it is a shambling skeleton. And the only sound that it makes is the creaking of bones.
Wrong
Chill
move,
touch.
buddy. And I'm
All right.
take my mace and
Just
try and hit him
don't do
across the
nothing.
face.
How about we
We can destroy things.
roll initiative?
Yeah.
Okay, that was a better roll. Thank you.
6.
Okay.
12.
19.
Okay. Let me just roll. Okay. So 19 was Sister Monica Joan.
Yep.
You are up first.
Yeah, I am, as I said, going to take my mace and hit him in the face with a bright pink mace.
Okay.
That didn't... 7.
A 7.
Why you
That is going to miss.
Why you do this to me?
Moda,
No.
you are up next.
Okay, I'm gonna take my quarterstaff and
Yep.
go after the one closest to me.
Yep.
20.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, quarterstaff. 5 points of damage.
Okay.
And then bonus action unarmed strike to the same
Yep.
one.
Okay.
17.
That will hit.
I'm just freaked out and I was just swinging wildly.
6 more points of damage.
Okay. Your first attack was 5 damage?
Yep.
Okay. It is still up. But it's hobbling around pretty badly.
Okay.
It looks like, you notice, that they're covered in very, like, thick robes and cloaks and everything, but there seems to be a little bit of resistance underneath. And you see as you hit them, and parts of, like, the cloak go flying and everything, that they are covered in some, like, scraps of armor underneath.
Oh. So, scraps of armor. Maybe these are former soldiers. I don't know, maybe. Or something is smart enough to put armor on them. I don't know, maybe.
I don't think they're smart enough to clothe themselves.
Make me
Well, I
an
was gonna say
intelligence
something
check.
Who?
else. Oh.
Moda.
Intelligence check. No, this is 15.
Yeah, now that you're taking a closer look at a lot of the armor and everything, yeah, it looks familiar. This looks like a lot of the armor that those smugglers were wearing.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
So, there's that. So are you all set with your flurry of blows?
I'm good.
Oh no, you didn't do flurry of blows. You just did your regular
No,
unarmed strike.
No. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
that's it.
Belladora.
How close together are these guys?
So, I mean, they were surrounding you. So it was a half a dozen of them were able to surround you within a 20-foot radius circle. So that would put them. So it's like a 40-foot diameter. So like the two furthest ones are like 40 feet apart, and they were all kind of evenly spaced around. So we'll say they're like about 10 feet apart.
Okay. I will go for the one that has taken a fair amount of damage.
Okay.
And I will do chill touch on it.
Okay.
13 hit?
It does.
Perfect.
I feel so useless right now.
6 damage.
Oh. Okay. So my bad. I forgot that Moda's damage was bludgeoning. And that skeleton was destroyed.
Oh.
Oh.
Quite a bit. So we'll
Quite
just
a
say
bit.
next target for chill touch then.
Yep.
Yeah, it takes full damage. And chill touch, I believe, does
It
something
has
else against undead.
disadvantage on its next attack against me until the end of my next turn.
Okay.
So if it tries to hit me, it has disadvantage.
Good to know, because it's going to try and do that.
Perfect.
And it will miss. So it just... The attacks are very coordinated, and they don't seem to be armed, as they're just kind of swiping at you with skeletal claws. And again,
Perfect.
like the jaws are opening, there's no sound coming out. but ineffectually trying to get at you. So that leaves basically 2 and 2. So how this is going to work is one is going to help the other one. So Moda and Sister Monica Joan are each going to have one attack against them with advantage.
Yay.
Well, that's a big ol' whiff on Moda. Man. And also against Sister Monica Joan. They are, again, not armed, so they're just trying to, like, grab and scrape at you with, I mean, they look kind of like claws, but upon further inspection, like, they're not really that much sharper than, like, finger bones. So, and that is that. So now we're back at the top of the order.
Yep, I'm not thinking, but seeing that Bella hit one of them,
Yes.
I am going to toll the dead.
Okay.
So
So what's that, a wisdom save?
A wisdom of 12.
Okay. It's gonna fail.
Cool. And because they've already taken damage, get a 1d12.
Let's see. Do I have a thing for Toll the Dead? I don't.
Okay. So that is 5 damage
Okay.
for that.
It is still up.
Yeah. Can I do 2 cantrips at once?
You cannot.
Okay.
Well, you can do a cantrip if it's a bonus. You can do a second cantrip if it's a bonus action.
No, they're both actions. Okay.
Okay, then no, because you only have one
Cantrip
action.
as a bonus action?
Some of
There
them
are some cantrips that are bonus.
Oh,
actions.
okay, specific
Yeah.
ones. Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's gonna be it then.
Okay.
Yep.
Moda.
Alright, so I'm gonna go after whichever one is closest to me again. Swinging with the quarter staff. Seeing how great of a job it did before.
Yeah.
So at this point, it would be the one that's basically being focused, because you were all kind of in a tight group.
Okay.
So yeah.
9.
9 is a miss.
9.
Bonus action unarmed strike.
Okay.
Oh, it's even worse. 8. Never mind.
Nope. Looks like your strikes are just being kind of softened by the cloak, and you're just hitting like empty. Like you go to hit it, and you're just hitting like a carpet that's been folded onto a clothesline. So it seems like there's a lot of loose fabric that's just flowing about.
Stupid lack of flesh.
Yes. Belladora.
I guess the same one that I got last time. I will get again with Chill Touch.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Well, there we go. So we are still going to use the same crit rules. So it's max damage, and then you roll the dice again.
$14.
Okay. That skeleton, its life, or its unlife essence is snuffed out and crumbles into a pile of bones and dust.
Perfect.
So that leaves 4 skeletons. This point, they're kind of gonna try to converge on Belladora. And just do help and attack and help and attack.
Do they start their turn within 10 feet of me?
At this point, yes.
Okay, I'm going to use my, what is it called? Halo of Spores. Oh, it does necrotic damage, though.
And I think you have to activate that on your turn.
It says I can use my reaction to deal 1d4 necrotic damage. Oh, do I need to do the symbiotic entity first on my turn before I can do that? I'm not totally sure how
Yes.
Spore Druid... I'm still working out the mechanics.
Yeah. So the way it works is, so you use your wild shape to awaken the spores that are around you.
Okay.
And then you gain 12 temporary hit points. You roll
That whole-
double
yep.
damage dice for your Halo of Spores.
Which is why I thought I could do just
Oh,
my
wait.
Halo of Spores, because that doubles the damage of it, but like...
No, you know what? Yeah, you can use Halo of Spores.
Okay, cool. Then
Yeah,
you
because
get to make,
symbiotic entity doubles the damage that it would deal. So,
yeah, okay.
to one creature, you can
So
see
it
when it
makes a
moves.
con save. DC
Yes.
13 con save.
Yeah. So, that's a failure. So it's 1d4 necrotic.
3 damage.
Okay. Then the next one's going to save. Makes the save. Actually, let me just make sure that it
I think
does.
it's just the one of them.
I
I think it's just
oh, it's
the
one
of
creature.
them, so it
Okay,
doesn't-
yeah, and it's a reaction. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep.
So the first one takes 3 damage. Then, let's see. So that's a hit, and that's a hit. So that is 2 hits against Belladora.
Oh boy.
You take a combined total of 3 points of damage.
Oh no, that's brutal.
Hey,
Whatever
you know
will
what?
I do?
Level 3, dude.
I know, I shouldn't complain too much.
Yeah. We are back to Sister Monica Joan.
Yes. So there's been the ones that have been hitting Belladonna. Those have been hit.
All
already,
of the
right?
remaining ones.
All of them have been hit. Cool.
No.
More told.
Just one of them has been hit. All of them are attacking Belladora.
Okay. So the one that has already been hit.
Yes. Yeah, you want to do
More
Toll
told the dead.
Okay. That is a success.
Darn it. Yeah, it doesn't do anything if it succeeds.
Pop bear form and tank for a while.
That's you.
Yeah, I meant me. Yeah, because I
Oh.
pulled aggro.
Except you don't want to. As a sport.
I know, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I'm not.
You want to
I'm
just
kidding.
become covered in mushrooms. So Moda.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over there and just start swinging the quarterstaff one more time.
Okay.
Trying
You don't
to-
have to go very far, as they have converged on your position.
Yeah. Hit things with a quarterstaff. Going for kneecaps now.
Okay.
19.
That'll do it.
Ugh. 4 points of damage. And now flurry of blows.
Okay, so I will say, after that quarterstaff strike, I mean, you actually, you did, in fact, go for the kneecaps. Lot of damage in that strike.
Oh.
And the skeleton is looking pretty rough.
Oh, okay. Can I pop that one once and then go for the next one? Right next to it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Gonna do that. 10.
10 will not hit.
Alright, so then I'm just gonna go pop the other one, or pop the same one again, since the first one missed. Oh, 17.
Yeah, that'll totally do it. And you don't have to roll damage, because
Sorry.
even a minimum roll will deal enough damage.
Yep.
And yeah, pop right in the face, and the skull just breaks under the weight of your unarmed strike.
Yeah, you went boom, boom, boom.
So you do a headbutt.
As it's falling from the kneecap breaking.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because I'm the...
Belladora, you are up again. So now you could use your reaction on your turn to force one of them
Oh boy.
to make a save.
There's
if
two
you
of them on
wish.
me? Or more?
There are now... there are 3 of them on you. And there are only 3 left. And none of these have taken any damage. So,
Okay. Chill touch. Keeps working.
okay.
16?
16 will hit. And did you want to use your Halo of Spores?
I did. Yep. So that's 4 damage
Okay.
from the chill. And,
and
on the same.
It failed to save.
Ooh, 4 damage. So total
Okay.
of 8 to one of them.
Yeah. So yeah, between your spores and your spell, you see a lot of the creature's bones sort of like blacken and break, just under the necrotic power.
Perfect.
They are going to shift tactics, and I'm going to need either athletics, either strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics checks from each of you.
Everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Modified
Okay.
20
Yes,
athletics.
it's funny.
Okay, so
22 acrobatics.
okay, so what's that?
My rainbow dice like me. So, you know, there's that.
Belladora, what did you get?
Modified 20?
Modified 20. Okay. Okay. What they tried to do was to essentially grab onto the 3 of you. To grapple you, and none of them succeeded. You all either powered your way out of it or slipped through their sort of shambling grasp. I mean, that's their turn. So,
Cool.
yeah. So we're back up to Sister Monica Joan.
Yeah, I'm getting mad now. So I'm going to again take my mace and try and just smack the closest one in the face.
Okay. I will say,
Mace to
for
the
future
face.
reference, Courtney,
Yep.
you do have an ability called Turn Undead.
I do. That's
It's
right.
it's a little late to use it now, but just for future reference.
I'm getting used to cleric, dude.
Yes. Yeah, I know. That's why I just wanted to remind you.
Yeah, I was like looking through stuff and I was like, no, I'm just getting mad. Oh, wait, I could have. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's
Yeah.
also not as exciting as Blessing of the Trickster, so. But yes, go ahead and make your mace attack.
12.
12 just misses.
Ah.
So you see, you think it would connect, and you hear like what sounds like bits of leather and chainmail that your mace connects with. So you also come to the conclusion that they're somewhat armored underneath these cloaks. Moda.
Alright. We're gonna keep doing what's working and quarter staffing.
Yeah.
families.
Yes, keep doing it, Moda.
18.
Yeah, 18 will do it.
Oh my gosh, I keep rolling bad damage though. 4. And bonus attack, unarmed strike.
Yep.
11.
11 will not. However, with the 4 damage, you have guessed by now, skeletons seem to be somewhat weak against blunt damage. and blunt attacks. So you manage to swipe with your quarter strike and bring down the skeleton that Belladora had previously attacked.
Haha!
Reducing that one to a pile of bones and scraps of armor and loose cloaks. There are now only 2 skeletons left. Belladora, it is your turn.
Being a druid, I love the whole fire and ice thing, so I'll use the flame from my hand to throw it at one of the things.
Yep.
To produce flame.
Is it an attack roll? Oh.
Oh no.
I think we lost Belladora.
We froze. It froze.
Can you not hear me?
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Froze
You
for a
you
second.
you just froze for a second. Okay. What was your attack roll?
17.
Yeah, that'll hit.
So 2 damage, and I'll use my spores again.
Okay.
Yeah, because you need to get a 13 to hit.
They fail.
Just can't do that tonight.
3 damage.
Okay. The remaining 2 are just, at this point, one is going to go after Moda, and the other is going to go after Belladora. So the one against Moda is going to miss. Belladora, you are going to get hit. For a whopping 4 points of damage.
Wow.
Maximum
Getting
damage.
vicious. Nice.
As the sort of sharp fingertips of the bones just rake across your shoulder, tearing through the fabric of your robes. And that puts us back at the top of the order.
I have a quick question,
Quest.
mechanics-wise.
Mhm.
I have 2-weapon fighting. Could I have been clawing them as
Yep.
well?
Yes, you
Should've.
can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because your claws are light weapons,
Melee.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
Yes. My claws are. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
You can as a bonus action.
Just get to one.
Yeah, so it's only if you attack with your mace, because casting a
Yes.
spell isn't considered an attack.
No. I know it has to be a melee weapon, and yes.
Yep.
Yes. I knew that much.
Yeah.
But I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Could
So if
I
you want
have
to do
been
that, go ahead.
That's what I want to do. I'm mad. Finally! Ah! 17 to hit with my mace.
Okay.
Freaking finally! For 1 damage. And then hit with my claw for 2 damage.
Okay. So you know that actually it's so you are applying your strength penalty for
Yes.
Okay. Unless
Yes, I am.
are you able to treat it as a finesse weapon? Actually, why am I doing this?
No, because
okay,
it's,
no.
yeah, it's
I have your character sheet right here. I don't know why I'm asking these questions. Okay. So
yes, I am applying the actual what it's
okay.
supposed
So
to
you
be,
deal
yes.
you deal a bit of damage.
I do
Again,
some.
your mace strike is more effective than a regular attack would be.
Yes.
So there's that.
And as I hit and break my claws against him,
Yep.
I let out. You know when cats like howl? Yeah, I let out one of those.
Okay.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
I'm mad.
Mad cats.
Because I've been trying to hit it. And
Uh,
it wouldn't let me.
Moda.
Alrighty. Same thing. Quarterstaff, whatever one's closest.
Mm-hmm.
24.
I think that'll do it.
Nope. Oh my god, I need to stop rolling that one. 4 points of damage. Unarmed
So
strike.
okay.
Go
So no, go ahead with the unarmed strike.
Alright, unarmed strike. Oh, nope, 7. That one doesn't hit.
Nope. That skeleton is looking pretty bad. And is sort of like shambling around and like making unpredictable movements, kind of as if you kind of had knocked it off its balance a bit. Belladora.
I will use my spores on the one that's off balance.
Okay. Does not make the save. Wow.
2 damage.
Okay. It is still up, hanging by a thread.
Chill touch.
Okay.
16, I'm assuming hits.
It will, and that will reduce it
4
to
damage.
a pile of dust.
Perfect.
I believe that leaves one skeleton left.
And that one.
That skeleton is going to start attacking with reckless abandon. It's going to make an attack against each of you. Ha 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 ha! Secret abilities.
Oh no!
What?
Let's see. Okay. That's 3 hits. Or 1 hit against each of you.
Mm-hmm.
That is 4 damage to Moda. 4 damage to Sister Monica Joan. And 3 damage to Belladora.
Haha.
I then need each of you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
$19.
22.
7.
So we had 8, 19, and 7. Is that right?
Yep.
I had 22.
You had 22. You had 19. And you had 7.
19, yep.
Okay.
7. Big whopping 7 for a save. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sister Monica Joan,
Yep.
you take 8 points of piercing damage.
Ah!
And the other 2 of you take 4 points of piercing damage.
What happened?
As the skeleton violently explodes.
The
Alright.
actual.
Yep.
Into
What's the actual.
They-
Who hit
yep.
the self-destruct button?
Yep.
it violently explodes in a series of bone shards and splinters.
That's a thing. Yep.
But, they hit the self-destruct button?
Yep. Surprised the rest of them didn't do it too.
Ow. Ah.
Well, I say let's leave these piles of dust and bone here.
Get a
as
decent
warning
night's
to
sleep.
anyone else that might come. When we go
I'm
back
okay
and go
with
to
it.
bed.
I'm okay with that.
You hear
Yeah.
coming from a nearby rooftop.
As I
Can
hear
we
that,
help you?
Wait. As I hear that, the heckle, like the heckles on my neck, like shoot up, and I gonna go and like just glare daggers towards wherever I'm hearing the noise.
I'll produce Flam again. hold it in my hand.
Okay.
Have it at the ready.
Wonderful! What a wonderful performance, everyone. You performed quite well.
And you are?
You turn and look into the direction of where the voice is coming from. And up on top of one of the houses that are downtown, you see and you see more of the silhouette against the moonlight. A very thin, kind of gaunt figure that appears to have a large pumpkin on top of its head. Or for its head. Seemingly in like a long, tattered coat. But like incredibly thin arms. And you see the sort of mouth of the pumpkin moves, and there is kind of this greenish light coming from within the pumpkin, giving it a bit of an eerie silhouette against the night sky. It then sort of gets up and, like a spring, crouches down and then leaps into the air and sort of tumbles onto the street in front of you.
Yeah, I go to swing at him with my mace.
Well,
Not close enough?
It's not in melee range with you.
Okay.
It's about... It's at the edge of the bright light.
I ready my mace.
And then stands up. To about the full height of like 8 feet tall.
What do you mean performance?
Well, this is some manner of spookiness that I couldn't help but take notice of. And, well, I don't ever want to see anyone harmed through spookiness. So it's good on you to make sure that nobody was actually hurt through this display.
Yeah, because we're totally nobody.
Oh, well, I mean, I think I could certainly help take care of that. But, I mean, if you would do something for me.
So wait, whoa, hold on. Did you set all of these things up?
Oh, no. You see, I have an interest in spooky things that happen across this wondrous land of yours.
I mean, you seem pretty spooky.
Oh, well, thank you.
I mean, we can call
Who
pumpkins
are
spooky.
you?
Who am I? Why, I'm the Prince of Autumn. The king of spookiness. The purveyor of
But-
tricks.
You are also very suspicious.
Ah, well, I mean, it's smart of you to think of that. I am...
How can you be a spooky thing when you've got a pumpkin on your head? Pumpkins make great pie, and the prince or whatever of autumn. Autumn is the prettiest season in the world. Not very scary thing.
Ah, you see, that's merely my title. My court
But
is known as the Autumn Reapers. Perhaps you've heard of it.
Have I heard of it?
So anybody can make an intelligence arcana check. Or we'll say intelligence history. And depending on which one you roll, I will give you different information.
I get the same buff in both.
Yeah. But you'll get different information depending on which one you pick.
Arcana.
I rolled a 3, so I know
Okay.
shit. I'm not from here, so that makes sense, actually.
Yeah, that does make sense. Yes. Belladora, what did you roll?
15 Arcana.
Okay. Moda, are you just not rolling?
No, I'm not rolling at all. I'm enthralled by the pumpkin.
Yeah. Belladora, you are actually familiar with this court. It is a Fey court. One of the major Fey courts, governed by the seasons. The Autumn Reapers are basically the Fey of autumn and fall. They are known as Trickster Fey, in particular. Their goal is, they're more of like playful fear. So like they're the ones that will play like a spooky trick on you, but then have a laugh about it afterwards. Not necessarily malicious or murderous by any means, but they seem to gain their power through shrieks. So I guess to put it in context, it's sort of like a Monsters Inc. kind of a thing, right? Where like they want to scare people, but they don't want to hurt people.
Okay. Okay, so like haunted house. They want to scare you, but they can't touch you.
Yes, that is a great way of putting it.
Yeah, I mean, good haunted houses scare you, but people don't touch you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Still doesn't help coordinate, but yeah.
Okay.
Question. Could I make a religion check on that?
For what?
For knowledge about these guys, because I do follow a trickster god.
So that is a different purview of knowledge.
Okay. Just wondering,
because the Fae are not divine beings.
Okay.
And they're not really part of any of the established religions or pantheon of Jemmora.
Okay. Just wondering.
Yeah. So knowledge of the Fae is more covered in like arcane studies and folklore than it is under knowledge of religious rites. Yeah.
Okay.
So
it was worth a question.
Yeah. And Sean, Belladora has certainly heard of this individual before, as he is the king of that court.
You've told us your title, but what's your name?
Oh, well, you see, names are a funny thing. There's many names.
Which one?
Sean, we're getting some kind of weird feedback.
Yeah.
From Mike. I mean, well, you can simply refer to me as, well, let's say the Pumpkin King.
Right.
That's another one of my titles that I'm known by in the mortal realms. And certainly, I mean, I can't go giving you any powerful names, but that's not of any concern right now. I'm willing to help you all out if you're willing to help me out. How does that sound?
How are you thinking that you could help us?
Well, I just said you have some wounds that need to be patched up.
Yeah, but we could take care of that. What can you actually do?
You could. Or you could have somebody do it for you.
But what?
Beds are right here.
Yeah.
Beds can help us do that.
Yeah. Seriously, what do you honestly have to offer us besides this trickster whatever you're doing, which is not cool, by the way?
Ah, well. I do believe, mortals, you do love your trinkets, don't you? trinkets and treasures and such and sorts.
You did say the magic T word.
Go on.
Or perhaps treats? Trinkets, treasures, and treats? I do love things in threes.
But see, I don't want any of your tricks.
Oh, well, I mean,
Which
that's...
if you had anything to do with this that just happened, I don't want anything to do with you or your tricks. I don't care
No,
about your
I
trees.
think you misunderstand. I am not the designer of this situation. I am simply drawn to this situation. It attracted my attention.
Okay. But if we get rid of the situation, doesn't that mean you don't get to have your fun anymore, I guess?
Oh, I'm still just thoroughly entertained.
Oh, okay, but then there won't be any more entertainment.
Oh, well, I mean...
I think there will always be tricks to be played.
Indeed.
There's always treats for us.
This one gets it. That said, I mean, it is autumn. It is the time of change and the time of ending. All things must come to an end. Including my entertainment.
Okay, alright. So what would you need from us?
Well, I'm sure you've seen sort of this. Waves a hand in front of his large pumpkin face. Around town, and sort of then gestures around to the various buildings that have the gourds and turnips and stuff with little
The little
vestiges,
jack-o'-lantern.
basically the little jack-o'-lanterns. Well, where do you think that custom comes from?
I mean, I know it's not T-Fear.
If you could simply make sure that there is an offering in each of the jack-o'-lanterns, and then collect said offering for me.
Wait, are people supposed to put gold in these things?
Oh, people can put whatever offering they feel I deserve.
And I'm sorry, but what? I'm sorry.
It's not up to me to decide what people want to give me.
I mean, they're giving you gourds and vegetables. Those
That
are
said,
light.
That said,
Like,
I will judge what they have given me.
and what
Now.
do you do if you don't like it?
Oh, well, that's none of your concern. You don't have to
but
worry about that.
Oh, but do.
All I'm
When
asking
are
you
we
to
doing
do.
grocery shopping for you?
I was gonna say, I used to play this game when I was a kid. I was really not such a good kid. We'd go around and we'd take things like this off of porches and we'd smash them. So that was the fun part. That's what I would do. What happened if
You notice
one of us
that the light starts to dim from your light spell until it eventually goes out. Same thing with your produce flame. You both get the sense that like your spells are still active, but it's gone dark.
As I'm touching it, I'm like trying to make it go like different.
And to the point that like even the night sky grows darker and darker.
What you do?
Until it's just totally dark. Until all that's left is the glow from inside his head.
What you do?
I don't think you fully understand the powers that you're dealing with here. Now, I consider myself benevolent, downright, well, one of the better Fae, even. But even I have my limits as the face starts to grow bigger and bigger. until it seemingly takes up impossibly large, like 30 feet in width.
So you know those videos of cats that cat watching the horror movie and his eyes and the pupils just get bigger and bigger and bigger?
Yeah.
That's what's happening with Monica Jones' eyes right now. She's just
Now, what I'm asking you to do is to collect all 99 offerings
99.
Sorry.
by sunrise. You do this for
Wait.
me,
You
and
mean
I will
sunrise tomorrow.
take care of this menace and your wounds.
You mean sunrise tomorrow.
That sounds a little bit more fair.
We
Sunrise
can't.
is approaching quickly.
Here's the thing: we can't convince people to leave you things if they're asleep.
Mm.
As I said, the offerings
Yep.
are already left.
Oh, you're talking about like the
They left
magic?
things in the pumpkins that we need to go get. Could be some bit of food, could be some gold, could be a trinket.
This is a weird tradition.
We are to go to all of the pumpkins and get the offerings, say, in a sack, and deliver it to this fine king.
You really want stuff that people left in, like, fruit? Vegetables? Like, you, what is,
Hey,
do you do this regularly?
things.
Once a
presents in
year.
sack, it's. I don't usually associate it with the fall either, but he wants his presents in a sack. It's in a sack.
You guys have some weird traditions here. Oh, man.
It will be done.
I don't know. Yeah.
That is
Any-
the correct answer. Now, no
Any
tricks. I'll know. As I know all tricks. And then the mouth begins to open wide. And you see there's, within the mouth, there is just greenish flame everywhere. And the mouth then sort of closes down onto all of you. But as it happens, it sort of spills out, and I mean, you're back in the center of town. You are unharmed
Very well.
and unhurt.
Shall we?
And then the Pumpkin King is nowhere to be seen.
Thought he said he was gonna like make us feel better.
Once we complete his task.
Okay.
Shall we? And I go over to the nearest pumpkin and I open it up.
You see inside, along with the candle, there's it's silver coin.
Pull it out. I'm assuming I have a sack. Let me check my inventory. Hold on.
I'll go upstairs and grab a pillowcase.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go grab a pillowcase from upstairs.
Yeah,
Sure.
hold on, Bella. I'll go grab something.
I mean, a blanket will work.
Grab mine too,
my-
in case we need
does-
two of them.
Does my mace work again? When I'm
Oh, yeah.
touching it and casting
Yeah.
light? Okay. It's
It-
back to a nice pink glow.
You notice the spell never stopped.
Yeah, but I'd been touching it trying to change color, and so when it came back it was green.
Yeah.
So I touch it again and it's back to pink.
And then produce flame is still active. So
Perfect.
Because I was just going through trying to get the color to work.
I'll use the pot from my mess kit and I'll put like the silver piece in the pot
Perfect.
And then I'll wait for my companions to come back.
Yep.
Is it really that simple?
Oh, I'm assuming this one is. I'm guessing others may not be. He is, after all, a fae of tricksters
Okay,
and
but not all tricksters are bad.
spooky doings. I didn't say it would be bad.
Belladora,
You
are
asked if it would
also
be
aware.
evil.
You are also aware, like not just a fae, but as the king of a court, archfey.
Archfey of tricksters and tricking. I don't necessarily think he will be evil about this, but I would not expect them all to be so straightforward and simple. But we shall see what we get. Perhaps I will be surprised.
Okay. I'm gonna
Maybe.
cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
Shit tonight. Whatever. Gain 7, though.
How do you really feel?
These are new dice. They don't like me. I need to like get them in with the rest of my dice and actually like acclimate them. Something. Okay. Feeling a little better. Does anybody need any healing before we do this? Because if we're doing this for an Archfey, I doubt that, as Bella said, I doubt it's going to be this simple.
I mean, I won't say no. I'm 2/3 where I should be. So,
Bella?
I won't say no.
Bella? Do you need help? I saw you getting beat up. Bella?
I'm all set, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Come here.
I am
Um,
capable of taking care of my own. Thank you, though.
So
5 health back to you, Moda.
Thanks.
Yep.
can I get an intelligence check from each of you?
Oh, boy.
Okay. Come on, Rosie. You like me. You love me.
No.
You
17.
Okay.
4.
just straight
Okay.
intelligence?
Just straight intelligence.
14.
14. Okay. So just thinking about the number of offerings, and it looks like there's been like each dwelling simply leaves like one jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
On the doorstep.
We have to hit 100 house, 98 houses.
So 99 houses left.
I thought he said he wanted 99, and
You already have one.
And we already had one, so 98 houses.
Yes, I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
Yes.
It's been a bad week.
Yep. Moda. That kind of sounds like a lot of houses.
So it sounds like a lot of houses.
It does sound like a lot of houses.
Does this town have that many houses?
Sister Monica, that's what you're thinking with a 14. You're not entirely sure if this town has enough houses for 99.
Does this... no...
Bella, you're pretty sure that it's gonna be close, but you may have to check outside town.
Very well.
Does this...
And that is where we're gonna take a quick break. So, we'll be back in 10 minutes, folks. So go take a bathroom break, get a drink, get a snack, stretch your legs, get that blood moving, do a quick couple mini games in a Ring Fit adventure, and we'll be back. Let's see. There we go. Be right back. Doot. Hello, everyone, and we're back.
Yay!
So, hope you all had a nice break.
Yes.
My drink in the other
Well.
room. Just have to deal with it. Okay. So, before the break, the crew of Leafdancer had encountered the Pumpkin King, Archfey of the Autumn Reapers, a court of Fey known for trickery and the autumn season and sort of delighting in the fright of mortals, but not the harm of mortals. So,
They're the archfey of haunted houses.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which may be relevant. The party also
If you get
encountered.
clowns up in here, I'm out.
I'm
I'm serious. I'm so dead serious. If you get clowns up in here, I am out.
Why so serious, Courtney?
You know
But
exactly why.
the
They know
party
what they
also encountered a bunch of spooky, scary skeletons. Went shambling down the street.
Down the street, pretty old girl I'd like to meet.
Nope, that's not how that song goes. The song is Spooky, Scary
And
Skeletons.
they danced by the light of the moon.
They most certainly did not. They got their bony butts handed to them by the group. And one of them exploded. So,
It hurt.
in exchange for collecting offerings made to the Pumpkin King, the Archfey would the Archfey would provide assistance, and I have a dog.
Yeah.
Still doesn't want to say hi.
He does not still want to say hi.
I tried.
So
No, but Megan knew that I needed to say hi again.
yes. The Archfey was going to provide his support in driving the undead away, which may lend some credence to the folklore of putting out basically jack-o'-lanterns on doorsteps. So, with that, the party has now realized that there might not be enough houses in town to cover the 99 offerings requested.
Yeah.
And they may have to venture outside of town.
Yeah.
So, what we're going to do is, we're just going to make a couple rolls, and we're kind of going to montage our way through the collection of these things. So,
Gonna need a montage.
for this, we're gonna do sort of like a skill challenge. So I'm gonna need initiative rolls from everybody to just determine what order we go in.
7.
Okay.
9.
Okay. Okay. So
That makes sense with me going last because I'm not from here.
yes. So here's how this is gonna work. On each of your turns, you're gonna make an ability check, either using a skill or a tool of your choice. And then the next person's turn, they may not use the same skill or tool. There's an additional restriction in that you cannot use the same skill or tool 2 of your own turns, in a row.
Okay, so the normal.
It's the normal rules that we use for skill challenges in the Kraken's Wake.
Okay.
Which, for those astute observers, these are also the skill challenge rules used by the Critical Hit podcast. So, go check them out. Alright, so, Belladora, how are you going to kick off this montage, and what are you going to do in terms of searching for and collecting these offerings?
I am going to use an insight check to try to figure out what the most efficient route would be for us to gather these offerings.
Okay. So this one's going to be a little weird, and this is going to be an intelligence-based insight check. So if you're trained in insight, you'll get to add your proficiency bonus, but it's going to be based on intelligence and not wisdom.
Oh boy. Okay.
Haha.
Modified 20.
Okay. Yeah, you determine. It might actually be best for the three of you to split up to cover more ground and then reconvene back in the center of town.
Like,
Split the party.
So there are basically there's two main districts in town. There's basically the western shore and then the eastern shore. But the eastern shore is like kind of twice the size, and there's like a northern market district, and then there's like the fishery district. So that gives you kind of like three districts to spread yourselves out through. So yeah, and we'll say that you guys do that, and you basically go about your own ways, and that actually helps. So you do gain quite a bit more ground by doing that. Moda.
Okay. I think I'm going to use. So I'm gonna take my little district here, and I'm gonna try and move as quietly as I can so that I'm not interrupted. So I'm gonna make a stealth check
Okay.
to see how this.
Yeah. You definitely. I mean, there are still these shambling now skeletons wandering about. So yeah, moving around undetected, probably a good strategy.
22.
Yeah, that'll definitely succeed. So you hide in various alleys, and we'll say that because you do you have unarmored movement yet as a monk?
Say that again.
Do you have unarmored movement yet as a monk?
I do not yet.
You do not. Okay. So we'll say then, as a halfling, that you would probably end up taking like the market district, since the other two folks move faster than you. So that way, you duck through alleys and everything as a way and manage to.
Okay,
Yes.
I do have unarmored movement. I apologize
Okay.
for that one.
Okay.
I do.
So
But-
we'll still say that you take the market district. And you're using a lot of the various market stalls and barrels and storage containers and everything to hide from these skeletons that are shambling about, and manage to collect the offerings like a reverse Santa Claus in the night. Sister Monica.
Yes.
So first up, are you taking the tavern district or the fishery district?
I'm going for the fish.
Okay. It smells like fish there.
Yeah.
It just perpetually
Smells-
stinks of fish.
No,
So-
it smells beautiful of fish.
No.
Yeah.
It's also like fish. It's like fish and salt.
It's the smell of money.
Sure.
Sorry. I'll explain that one off stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. So how are you going to contribute to this montage?
Okay, so Bella did investigation.
So, but the only restriction that you have is that you just can't stealth.
I can't stealth.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna use my perception to like look in being to find these weird little things that everyone has put out on their doorsteps and make sure that I can find them all. Because it's weird to be like looking for these exact decorations and for the ones that have like the stuff inside them.
Okay.
Because this is a weird tradition that people have, putting things inside, like carved vegetables. I don't
So
understand this.
it'll be the same bonus.
Okay.
Because I was gonna say it's more of an investigation, but it's gonna be a wisdom-based investigation.
Okay.
And
20.
okay. And for those that are wondering why I'm doing all these unusual ability combination types, as that is something I will cover perhaps in an upcoming web series. So yeah, but basically, it's you can apply different skills to different ability checks.
Yeah.
So yeah, 20. Yeah, you definitely keep an eye out. You find a couple that you might have otherwise missed. Some where a few folks like put them on windowsills instead of doorsteps, which is weird. Why would anyone do that?
I mean, this
And
isn't the
a
Tooth
couple that
Fairy.
are what look like their domiciles that it might be like a row house, and sort of a multi-unit dwelling where there are back entrances. So they have these jack-o'-lanterns on
back
multiple
door.
sides of the buildings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are back to Belladora. So that leaves you with the Tavern District, which is back across the river.
Yep.
Ooh.
Can I make like an animal handling check to like train some stray dogs to like, you know, take them out of the pumpkins one at a time and bring them back to me?
Yeah. Let's go with that.
16.
Okay. Yeah. We'll say it's that you are able to find a couple of, especially with your druidic training. You are certainly able to find a stray helpful dog or two. You do see they have collars and stuff, so they may just be dogs that are just out and about on town, and not
They're out and
necessarily
about for
strays.
night.
They seem to have a home, but they're just kind of out and about and hanging out.
Neighborhood ones, gotcha.
And yeah, you enlist their help, and they are trained. They seem to be trained for like hunting and retrieval, which is really helpful. Is that you kind of guide them and tell them what to do, and they assist your aid in this search. Moda, we are back to you.
Would there be any like I keep thinking of like the triple deckers of Worcester, like multi-family houses or that would have like these carved gourds things on like multiple levels and porches?
Not necessarily. There's not a whole lot of like units on second levels. It's pretty rare, especially in the market district in the center. What you might see are more of places like inns in the center, maybe having like multiple ones out front. But yeah, there's not really a whole lot in your first round. You did not see a whole lot of like porches and stuff and balconies on the second level that had these.
Okay. So what was Sean did an animal handling.
That is correct.
Okay.
So you cannot do animal handling or stealth.
Yep. Can I use a sleight of hand check to see like any of the ones that are nearby larger groups of these skeletons? See if I can like sneak and grab them. Does that
Yeah.
work?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll say that you can use a sleight of hand to like put out the light and then snatch it to
Okay.
what it's I mean it's a little kind of getting into a little bit of stealth or whatever, but
So you don't burn yourself.
actually we'll go with
Very
that.
true.
Yeah.
Okay.
like that's what I
okay.
think of.
That's what?
I like reach for it and I go, ow, 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 because I totally just had a 6.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you do end up burning your hand. So that does count as a failure. But you guys are doing pretty good. I mean, you have 4 successes thus far. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that leaves Sister Monica.
Yes. So this is gonna be. I want to do an insight check because again, like this is a weird tradition. This is weird, like we've established. I'm not from here.
Yep.
And so could I do an insight check to kind of glean the clues from what I've already seen, as to where some of these other ones like might be, like as of like yeah, I'm trying to like yeah, like those like where would they, based on everything else that I've already seen, like what's normal and what's out of, because like
I'm
like I
gonna say
saw
this.
one up by a
This
window
would
and that was
probably be more of a
weird.
history check. I mean, it's a
Okay.
little bit of local history, but
Okay.
yeah.
That works. 14.
Okay. I mean, you think it's a little difficult because the district you're in is more of an industrial district.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was figuring. Just like if
Yeah. So you
there's
get that much, but it means
yeah.
that you're having a difficult time trying to figure out where. I mean, where in an industrial district there might be houses, let alone where there might be
Yeah,
offerings.
that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, is there like, little boat, like
Yeah, and
those little like
unfortunately,
boats where you like live, but you also work on it and stuff like that.
it
Like, would they be outside of that?
proves to be a
Like,
little too alien for you, and you end up spending a lot of time like searching around the docks, and
mm-hmm.
losing a lot of time there.
Yeah.
That is a failure. However, that is a total of 4 successes to 2 failures. So overall, you have about an hour left before sunrise, you figure.
Okay.
And you have successfully collected through by hook, crook, and dog
Sheer dumb luck. Yeah, dog.
98 offerings, which range from little pieces of dried fruit to like a silver or copper coin, to there are some very unusual ones. There is a slightly worn playing card. There's a dried flower that was sort of intentionally dried, and was once like a beautiful
So like a pressed
sort of
flower from a book.
yeah, something like that.
Like a pressed flower?
Something like that. A couple cloves of garlic were one of the offerings. A potato. To
Get what they have.
some of the what looked to be more interesting houses. There was like a petrified finger bone. A set of wooden dice made out of a very fine grained wood. But all of the sort of markers were little tiny skulls.
Dude, I want a set of actual dice like that now.
So things like that covers a wide range of things. But
Box
you
of
only have
raisins.
98. And then it dawns on you that there's one house that, after conferring like all the places you checked and double checking and
Mhm.
everything, there's one house that you have not checked. And that is
Oh,
the
no,
house outside of town.
we have to go back to the spooky mansion.
Yes, it would
Let's do
seem.
Really?
Can we leave the 98 in our house so it's safe?
I think that's a good idea.
And then go there, because I really, really, really don't want something bad to happen and then everything's all gone. Like, but at the same time, I don't want to be. About how long did it take us to get to the time?
It took you about an hour to get out there.
Yeah, but we can't.
It's a
we don't have-
couple miles.
We don't have the time.
So I'm not sure what the limitations are in this skill. Can I like wild shape into a horse and like carry people out there?
I believe you can, as long as a horse is. Let's see. What do you have? Wild shape.
I'm
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Positive what the restrictions are and some of my stuff.
CR 1/4. So,
Well, that's under monsters.
challenge rating. We'll do 1/8 to 1/4. Filter. Beasts. Draft horse. How about riding horse? Riding horse is totally an option. A riding horse can carry 1.
Not 1.5?
It is conceivable that the two of you may be able to squeeze on the horse's back, but I will make some checks to see how that goes. Or I'll need some checks to see how that goes.
I mean, technically a draft horse is bigger.
I was wondering, could I be like a war horse or something too? Draft horse would also. I mean, it moves slightly faster.
Like,
I
Uh,
feel
totally
like
put it
they're
on
all
your head.
still probably designed.
I'm thinking Clydesdale.
Yeah, draft horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Don't even
draft
have to
horse
worry about,
is draft horse is slower. But I would say that, I mean, it would be easier to fit the two of you on there.
How much slower?
Riding horse is 60, draft horse is 40.
Yep.
That's up to you, Bella, because
I mean,
if
I don't.
if we
I don't
think
mind
we
going
can squeeze ourselves onto a riding horse, I would prefer that. If we can't, then I'll go for the draft horse.
Can we find like a pumpkin patch or something and carve our own little thing here? I'll put a gold or 2 in it. There's 99.
No.
I think that's cheating.
Is it? Because we're giving. We're giving an offering. He didn't say where it had to come from. It just had to come out of a pumpkin gourd thing.
I wild shape into a draft horse and I whinny while
Okay.
All right.
pointing my head.
So I will say in this case, so the two of you are able to climb up.
Yep. I'll just.
So technically it's squeezing, but I'm not gonna require any additional, especially since a halfling on a Clydesdale is
and a tabaxi.
just ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous. It is like a child riding on top of a full grown Clydesdale.
I know what I'll turn pie cakes in for.
Yeah.
A halfling can normally ride on top of a pony, and that would be an appropriately sized mount, or even a large dog, since halfling war
You
dogs
could
are
be a
totally a thing.
mastiff.
Yes, halfling war dogs are a thing in D&D. So,
Yes.
what I will need.
Beautiful.
So from Bella, give me a dexterity check.
Well,
Okay, and then a Constitution check. Sorry, and just give me the result on the die, because these are going to be using the horse's stats.
okay, so the first one was an 11
Okay.
on the die, and the Constitution is a 16 on the die.
Okay. So, you aren't able to really go particularly faster than what the form normally allows. However, you are able to keep up the general fast pace, because you would dash, so you can move 80 feet in a round, which translates to roughly overland is kind of 8 miles an hour. So you get there in a fairly good amount of time. So I mean, you get there in 20 minutes of just straight up running, straight up dashing. But you're not winded or anything because of that. So.
Okay.
So you make it to the spooky house once more.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 Now that we're here, I am casting. Yeah, I'm gonna take out of my little components pouch,
Uh-huh.
a bit of ashes, and a sprig of spruce.
Mm-hmm.
And I am gonna put that together and pass without a trace.
Okay. So as long as you're concentrating, you all have plus 10 to stealth.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shh.
You do not see on the doorstep a jack-o'-lantern.
Okay.
However, you do see some sort of candlelight coming from within the house. You can see because of the light shining in one of the windows.
Do we see shadows coming from that? Like shadows passing in front of it or anything?
You're going to have to give me a perception check for that one.
Come on.
To differentiate from flickering light
Yeah,
to...
flickering versus... Yep.
Yeah.
23.
Yeah, there does seem to be shadows passing before your eyes.
Okay. There's something
I
there.
stopped being.
You what?
I stopped being a horse.
Okay.
Okay.
But yes, yeah. So there are, in addition to the candlelight flickering, there seems to be something that is casting shadows as well.
Shh. And I point out the shadows. Oh, this isn't good. This isn't good.
Produce flames.
Yeah, I
Going? And I start walking towards the door.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, spooky not moving.
That's him, not this. And at that, I'm gonna touch my mace and have it turn into a dark purple light.
It's still shining bright light out too.
I was gonna say, is there any way that I can, like, oh, if I cover it with something, it'll dim it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also a cantrip, so you could just
Yeah.
not cast it.
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna not. Like, I wanted it to be like a dark purple light, so it's not like as bright, but just still bright.
So just to recap, this decrepit house sits in the highest ground in the area. Around it, there's a stone wall that's crumbled in many places, exposing the interior grounds. You pass by the ornate metal gate lying open at the end of the road, swaying slightly in the night breeze. There's all sorts of wild flora growing throughout the inner yard, but all the years cannot hide the evidence of a well-tended garden that once sat there. And then you see on the side of the house, there's the rotted wooden roof of the water well rising out of the grass.
Stay away from the well.
Stay away from the well. But remember last time, the smuggler people, we were thinking that maybe their secret entrance was down below, like by the cliff or something. I'm thinking we go find the secret entrance and make our way in rather than go up through the front where they can see us because they're at the front.
As you're deliberating this, you hear a low wailing coming from inside the house. And you see, in addition to the candlelight, there's now a sort of very faint, soft bluish glow that seems to be moving through the house. And it passes by one of the windows, and you see there's another skeletal figure with the glow is coming from a beard that is a long sort of spectral beard that hangs off of its chin. And the wailing seems to be coming from this figure that's moving about. You do recall seeing this figure on your last trip here.
Yeah, this is the thing that was at the window the last time.
Yes, it was.
Right?
Yes.
So this time it's more obvious that it's the beard that's glowing, but not the skeleton.
That is correct. Although it's not shambling about. It seems to be
gliding.
It seems to be gliding. Yes.
Okay. You know what? We know our way up. Like Moda and I know our way up.
So let's do it.
I actually think that's a good idea. We'll just be very, very quiet.
What? No, just kidding.
Don't you dare.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I need stealth checks from everyone. And this is where we're gonna do a group stealth check.
Yep. Holy ball.
Plus 10, you said?
Yep.
19. I take it you got a botch. Cool.
So we add the 10 plus our own modifier?
Yeah.
Correct.
32.
Yeah.
Yep.
15.
Okay. Yeah, because on ability checks, ones are not automatic
Yep.
failures. So.
Yep. It just still hurts looking at it.
You all managed to even with the produce flame, and the sort of full moon's light you're able to find patches of darkness and shadow that you're able to skulk about through. And you do make your way up to the front of the house, seemingly undetected.
No, I thought we were going down to the.
Are you going to the back?
I thought we were going to the back. Like that was the
Okay.
idea that Moda had, right?
My idea was to go find the secret entrance that the smugglers were using.
I think we should go in through the back. 'Cause
Okay.
We still don't want to go in the front.
No.
Like, but I don't think we have the time to go down through the back
No.
or through
Okay.
the smugglers.
Yeah. At this point, you have roughly 30 minutes.
Half hour.
You guess before sunrise.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Let's get
Okay.
it done.
Back door.
So you make
Yep.
your so you make your way to the back door. There are a couple close calls when you are sort of crouching underneath a window and you see kind of the blue glow above your heads, and you freeze, and it keeps passing by. Also, you notice you seem to be getting closer to the source of the candlelight as well as you're passing by the house. And you make it to the back door.
Okay. Wants to try and open it.
I try and open it.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
Still get the plus 10?
Yes.
I'm still concentrating.
23.
Okay. The door
I'm like-
opens with
I'm
almost no sound at all.
like
The magic is
nervously
masking
kneading
any
ground.
creaks or squeaks that the hinges might make, or the turning of the knob. You open the door and you all sort of slink inside. Now, Moda and Sister Monica, you are well acquainted with this area,
Mm-hmm.
as it is the area with the it's the hallway that leads to the kitchen, and off of that the stairway
Okay.
down, as
Okay,
well
so centipede
as
room and
the dining room and the withdrawing room.
Yep. Can we kind of sense which direction? Because you said we could see the light of the candle when we were
Yes.
sneaking around the house. Could we kind of tell what room it was in from, like,
Yeah,
while we were
it
sneaking
looks like,
around?
well, yes. So the door to the kitchen is open, and you can see that there is a light, sort of candlelight, coming from the kitchen.
There's
You do not
Nice.
see any
Nice.
pale blue light currently in your
Okay.
area.
Watch out for centipedes.
I was just gonna say that.
And I'm gonna sneak in the kitchen.
Okay. Give me a stealth check, Sister Monica.
Mhm. Teen.
What's that? 15?
17.
17. Okay.
17.
You turn into the kitchen, and you see on one of the counters, there is a small jack-o'-lantern
Okay.
with a candle lit inside it.
Okay.
You also see
Yep.
A figure to the left. This is the figure that you've noticed before, and the reason why you haven't noticed the blue light is because it's in the same room as the jack-o'-lantern, and so it's the candlelight coming through instead, facing away from you. And you now get a better look at it in graying, tattered robes, floating about an inch off the ground, with a large, wide-brimmed hat and a long, spectral beard. And there are bottles and beakers sort of laid out on the table where it's facing. And it has sort of skeletal hands kind of looking and grabbing at beakers and stuff and swishing around materials and putting them back down. And it seems moving around alchemical apparatus. It does not seem to have noticed your presence.
I'm gonna silently,
Mm-hmm.
like, just like right back out, like not. Yeah, no. I need to just like add it. Yeah. Yeah. Need to get out of there. Need to back up.
Mm-hmm.
Need to get
So you see Sister Monica, the other two of you see Sister Monica kind of turn around the corner to the kitchen, take a look, and then she slowly backs up, very visibly frightened.
What is it?
It's in there. It's gonna speak for actual like listeners' benefit. It's in there.
More centipedes?
No, no, it and
So due to the proximity, I'm gonna need another set of stealth checks from everybody,
Yep.
since you are
Yeah.
basically right around the corner.
Yep.
Still the plus 10?
Oh boy.
Yeah, still that plus 10. Jesus Christ, these dice are gonna make me cry tonight.
13.
Okay, so we have a 13.
7.
Okay,
19.
yeah, and a 19. Okay,
I can't
Yeah.
roll over a 5.
it's your guys' magic is
Yep.
so
Yep,
so
this is why I did it. This is why
Pass Without Trace is masking and softening and dampening a lot of
My
your
cries.
vocalizations.
My cries.
So yeah. You don't hear any new activity. You just hear,
Yeah.
and now that you're all kind of focusing your hearing, you're able to hear kind of the very faint,
Ting ting.
clinking of glass and swishing of liquid.
Okay. He just look mad or bad. He looks like he's like experimenting with something. I don't know. He's really scary.
I just feel like he needed the distraction on the other side of the house. And then one of us snuck in, and then we snuck back up.
What if we said hello?
What's
What
that?
was it now?
What was
I'm all about not talking to people we don't have to talk to. Like,
um
Do you
then
want me to go knock on the front door while you guys try to sneak through the kitchen?
maybe. But then again, you bring up the good point. What if we did say hello? We are the people that technically let him back out. Maybe he'd be okay with us.
Yeah, I'm gonna go say hi. I'll be right back. And I start heading towards the kitchen.
No, not yet, not yet.
I stop.
Let's come to a group consensus on.
Well, you agree, and I agree.
But we have our friend Monica here who might not.
Go.
2 out of 3
So
votes.
I'm just so defeated right now. Go.
I mean, we have a
So
contingency
like
plan in case
she's
you still
like
cry.
silently crying a little bit. Just not okay.
Can we come up with a
I
plan?
go.
But he doesn't seem.
I knock on the door frame into the kitchen. Hello.
The
I'm like holding my breath.
skeletal figure turns and lets out an unearthly wail. And then, Belladora, you are struck with a beaker full of acid.
Ouch.
You suffer 6 points of acid damage. And then I'm gonna need everybody to roll initiative.
Yeah. Yeah. If this rainbow dice like does me dirty one more time, I'm legitimately going to cry. Like
11.
I mean, I do
It's
have
going to
children
cry.
who can donate it to.
No, Courtney is going to cry.
I don't know if this is a good idea so much.
Okay. I mean, it's just initiative, but I did okay-ish.
Okay.
9.
So Sister Monica has a 9.
Yep.
Moda.
Natural 20 to bring it to 23.
Okay. Belladora.
11.
Okay. Moda, you are at the top of the initiative order. What would you like to do?
Yeah,
So the two of you saw Belladora like go up into the essentially the threshold for the kitchen and then knock on the door frame, and then you saw just this like beaker, like flask of some kind of liquid just go sailing through the air after hearing this wail, and then strike Belladora, and then just liquid starts bubbling and fizzing and seemingly causing a bit of distress. So that's what you see. And Belladora, you are on deck.
I run up to Belladora and I'm like, I told you to wait till we had a contingency plan. What's our contingency plan? And I'm just gonna run up and I'm gonna hold an action of my quarterstaff, using my quarterstaff if they come closer. The
Okay.
thing comes closer.
Okay, so you are just going into the kitchen?
No, I'm going up to Belladonna and trying. I'm gonna get ready to like try and grab Belladonna out and run.
Okay. All right.
I will resist.
Okay. Well. Okay. So you prepare
Always
for that.
fun when Sean plays.
All right. There is another flask of liquid that goes sailing past Belladora and hits the open door to the kitchen. And the glass breaks and starts to like bubble and start to eat away the surface layer of the door.
How many flasks did I see?
There were quite a few.
Okay.
Yeah. But Belladora, it is your turn now.
I cast Hold Person on the skeleton.
Okay. It fails.
That one's for you, Courtney. Damn it.
It's not a person. I mean, I legitimately would be okay with that. It's not against another party member. But
Are
it's
you
not
actually
a
casting Hold
person.
Person, or are you just don't let your memes
Are
be
you
dreams?
just trolling me?
No, I'm just
Okay.
trolling you.
Okay.
I will activate. I will activate my Halo of Spores.
Okay.
That's
So-
what I want. That's what I want.
Okay. So that takes your action then.
Yep. And is he within 10 feet of me?
No.
Okay.
Unless you wish to move closer. For your benefit, Bella, is this room is 20 feet by 20 feet. Let me pull up. So the kitchen is dirty and damp, with patches of gray mold and cobwebs on the floor, walls, and ceiling. In the southwest corner, is some iron cooking equipment with a chimney above. Next to it, under the window, is a cracked and discolored stone sink. To the right of the sink, a small closed wooden cupboard is fixed to the wall about 5 feet above floor level. Against the far wall, a flight of wooden stairs leads upward from west to east. The woodwork of the staircase is decayed, and a few of the treads are missing. Next to... so on the wall, immediately to your left, there's a long table with a lot of these beakers and stuff as well. But it looks like this figure was mixing stuff in the sink. And the jack-o'-lantern sits in the cupboard, which is open. So that's to give you an idea of the room. So, you
Cool.
are basically 20 feet away.
Okay.
So if you wish to move, you can. But
No, I'll stay there. That's fine.
okay. All right then. At the end of your turn, another flask of liquid goes sailing by, and strikes this time against the floor, which it just sort of like sizzles, but doesn't seem to have any effect on the stone floor. Sister Monica Joan, it is your turn.
All right. I am thoroughly scared. I am going to drop Pass Without a Trace.
Okay.
And I am going to cast, as bonus action, I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon, and it is going to look like my holy symbol of a fiddler crab's claw.
Okay.
And yeah.
Relevant for Belladora, because I think we covered this with Moda, is in most of Jemmora, that's a bold choice.
That's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays
Indeed.
I like it.
So just really quick, just give me a religion check, Belladora.
Modified 20.
Yeah. So yeah, someone openly showing such a display of Taflir is like unheard of in most of Jemmora. Given that like the rest of the pantheon hates this god, and like many of the clergy seek to discredit the worship of Taflir. It's almost for player benefit, almost kind of like the whole Talos thing in Skyrim, where there are definitely folks that worship Taflir, but they tend to do it in secret because doing it openly might get you into all sorts of trouble. So
Makes sense.
yes, so big old fiddler crab claw. So are you using crab hammer?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll.
Yeah. So, okay, baby. Ah, yes! Much better! 23 to hit.
That will hit.
Yes, of course it will. Okay. That's the wrong die. Okay, alright. 6 damage
Okay.
for that.
Yep. And then for your
And
action.
that's a bonus action.
Yep.
And then for my action, well, I've cast it. It's next to him. It grabs onto him, to hit him up, and then, I'm just running in. I'm just no. We're doing this. We're doing this.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go mace claw.
Okay. I need a quick acrobatics check to avoid
Yep.
the patch of sizzling goo.
Yep. That's a 17 on the die.
Okay, yeah, you easily, with your cat-like reflexes, you're able to jump over the patch of sizzling slime that is on the floor.
Oh, okay. These are good. Okay. A 12 for the mace.
A 12?
Yeah.
That will hit.
Nice. And a 15 for my claws.
That will also hit.
Awesome. All right. Okay. Things are going better. I'm still not. All right. And so 2 damage with the mace
Okay.
and nothing with the claw. 1d4
So-
minus 1, and I rolled.
Well, so it still deals 1 point of damage.
Okay. So
Yeah.
one. The claws.
Yeah. You do notice, like the other skeletons, bludgeoning attacks are more effective against this thing.
Yep.
It seems to actually be a skeleton. You are not passing through any... It is not incorporeal.
Yep.
So, there is that.
Yep. And then, yeah. Yep.
So that is your turn.
Yes.
It throws a, after your turn,
Yep.
it throws a flask of some kind of, like, sticky tar-like substance at the sizzling patch of goo. And when it breaks, the sizzling tar-like substance catches flame. And then when it makes contact with the goo, you start to, like, it starts to react violently. And then it explodes. I need a dexterity save from each of you.
Yeah. That's cocked. Come on. There we go.
14.
Save?
Save.
21.
Is this poison potentially? 'Cause I have advantage
Uh,
on phase
This is
poison.
not poison.
Oh, this is
This is an explosion. 16?
Mhm.
Okay. Sean, what was Bella's dexterity save result?
14.
14. That... they all succeed. So you take... Wow. That was a decent roll. You each take 5 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Additionally, so the area, basically the doorway, and then a 5-foot radius of the doorway is filled with a thick smoke.
Yep.
That basically functions like a fog cloud. Those of you that are within that area or outside of that area, outside of the kitchen, can't see past it.
Cool.
Sister Monica, you are within the kitchen, so
Yep.
As you look back, you just see this like smoking cloud and cannot see Belladora.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
now it's actually its turn.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
It is going to wail and then proceed to take 2 flasks and throw them at Sister Monica. And you notice with these flasks, it seems to be like conjuring the flasks out of midair as it throws them.
Great.
That is a...
Yep.
That's going to be 2 hits against Sister
Great.
Monica. Unless you have anything that changes that stuff, but I don't think you do.
No, I don't.
Okay, because that's a 17 and an 18.
Yup.
That is
Yup.
a total of 11 points of acid damage.
I'm down.
Oh, that happened fast.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Claw vanishes.
Yes, it does. You do hear a sort of as Sister Monica, and then a thump on stone on the stone floor. Moda.
I'm gonna just come charging in and through the smoke and two-handed quarterstaff run and try and hit the snot out of our friend.
Okay. I'm gonna say that because you've been in the room before and you're just like going through a doorway, that you're able to make it through the cloud without having to really use up all of your movement. Since basically you could just bumble your way like around the corner and then make it through the cloud. And then have your regular movement, so.
Alright. 14?
14 will hit.
Oh, awesome. 8.
Come on, rainy die.
6 damage.
Okay.
And then bonus attack. I'm gonna let go with one hand and just try and pop him right up
Mm-hmm.
with my fist. Oh, nope, that's a 1.
Okay. You just miss.
Yeah, no good.
Sean is a just, kind, and merciful.
I often feel like missing is enough punishment.
Yeah.
So.
Sometimes it is. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep. Especially since, pocket acid! And that's going to hit.
Sha.
Sha-sha-sha! Pocket sand. But it's acid. And you take 5 points of acid damage.
Son of a beehive.
And Belladora, you are up.
I'm currently like standing like in the smoke cloud, right?
You are currently standing in the smoke cloud.
I
So
will
you-
move forward into the room through the smoke cloud.
Yeah, it's only a 5-foot radius, so you don't have very far to go to get out of it.
Okay.
And then you see the aftermath before you.
You see a calico tabaxi on the floor.
Yes. So Sister Monica Joan is down.
I will cast.
Oh, you froze.
Oh no! Oh no! You froze during casting. You froze. Oh,
Can you hear me now?
there we
We
go.
can.
I'm going to cast a level 2 Cure Wounds on Sister Monica Jones.
Okay, so you rush over
No.
and
Yep.
Okay.
16 damage.
Nice.
Healed.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh, nice.
Oh.
And then you get sha, and you take 2 points of acid damage. And then, actually, Sister Monica Joan, it
yeah.
is your turn.
Did I freeze
Yeah.
again?
You are
Is he-
currently frozen.
Is he within 10 feet of me?
Oh, yes. Makes the save.
Okay.
I think. Let me just make sure that there's not. No. Okay. Oh, just to know, remember, you have 12 temporary hit points.
I did make a note of that, yes.
Okay. All right.
It's the only reason I'm still standing, actually.
Okay. Oh, good to know.
Yeah, dude.
So,
Level 3. Level 3.
Sister
Level
Monica
3.
Joan, you are
Yep.
up. You are on the
Yeah.
floor.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn on dead.
Okay.
I remember.
Let's see. Let me just look that up.
Wisdom.
Turn
saving
undead.
throw of 12.
DC 12.
Yep.
So, what do you do to channel your divinity? How do you invoke Toflir's presence for channeling the divinity?
So, as we discussed last episode, he's not very, common around here. I was told to hide my holy. I did not very well though. And so, while still on the floor, into a fetal position, I'm going to take my holy symbol of his crab claw
Mm-hmm.
and start praying while in the fetal position, crying a little bit. Okay, more than a little bit. And just like letting out this like, come on, you don't want my adventure to end here. This is not everything that you've wanted for me. I know I can do so much more. Please, just turn him. And do my turn undead.
The power radiates out from you,
Mm-hmm.
and the skeletal figure stops for a moment, and the jaw just like drops and hangs. And then it proceeds to do like this mad dash around the outskirts of the room. And leaves. You see it enter into the smoke cloud,
Yep.
and you see it go through the smoke cloud as it takes off at maximum speed. It says, Mr. LaForge, get us out of here at maximum warp, and proceeds to
Nice.
vacate
Nice.
Nice.
as quickly as possible. You do not see where it goes once
Yep.
it enters the smoke cloud.
Yep.
But
Yep.
you simply know, you know that the effect was successful. So for the next
Yep.
minute,
Yep.
it can't go near you.
Yep. And as I finish that and I like see that happening, I say, "Let him go! Don't touch him! Don't attack!" So that these guys can hear.
Yeah. It is no longer your turn.
Yep.
Because that all happened on the creature's turn.
Yep.
So, with that in mind, Moda, it is your turn.
Seeing this happen, I run over to the jack-o'-lantern. I'll pull it up ever so carefully and see if there's a thing in there.
There is a stone in there. This stone... Let's see. It's a special looking stone. That has runic symbols carved into it. But that is what is in there.
That... Normally I'd call that a stone, but there's something on here. Good enough for me. Let's go.
I start walking out the back door.
Mission complete. Let's get out of here.
So,
It's changing the music.
it's mostly I really hated changing the music. However, what sounded like very triumphant music. So, sorry, I'm just trying to find the description of this stone. But basically, it shimmers as if it was made of liquid, but it is a solid stone carved with runes. And it has a weight to it, like an unnatural weight to this stone. Upon placing the stone in your sack that you've been carrying around collecting all these things, there is a gust of wind that just sort of picks up indoors and sort of blows out the candle in the room. And including blowing out the smoke. It dissipates the smoke. And you see the sort of skeletal figure basically like is opening the front door and then leaving the premises. And you hear footsteps. Very, very light footsteps coming from the other side of the second door in the kitchen, the one that led to the
things to go down.
the smugglers area
Smugglers
downstairs. The door opens, and once again you hear, "Bravo, bravo! I knew you all had it in you. Now, this is wonderful. You've all collected all 99 requested. So, I am a lord of my word." And with a snap of his sort of gloved hands, it's almost like a weird like jump cut. And the injuries you've sustained, the damage done to your clothing and everything is all mended. So, you are all restored to full hit points. And as a cosmetic effect, all the tears and damage done to your equipment and your clothes have been stitched back up as if they were new.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. That's not really okay.
I see you're still concerned about
Yeah.
the one out there. Well,
Yeah.
why don't you all take a look? Just gather round.
I'm gonna like
I do so.
I'm gonna like slowly get to my feet. Like I'm still like
And the Pumpkin King
clutching.
takes his head off. His pumpkin head. And as he's holding it, the head is like and he throws the head, and it goes in a searing, like a fireball, through the house, through the open door, and then strikes the skeletal figure, who then just knocks over. And his own head then falls, boom, 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 and goes rattling down.
Creepy.
And then when you
Throw a
blink,
pumpkin at him.
the Archfey's pumpkin head is back on his head.
How'd you do that?
Were you paying attention before? I am powerful lord in my own right.
Okay, that was kind of cool.
Well, I should certainly hope so. As I said, you've held up your part of the bargain, so no tricks, just treats. I said you would get trinkets, treasures, and treats. So, I've already given you a treat in restoring your wounds. So, he pulls out of sort of the bags of items that you've collected. He pulls the stone out. Here's a trinket. And he goes, oh, I think I have something in here that might be a bit more useful than that. And he pulls what looks like his coat pocket and keeps pulling it. And you see there's more and more fabric. And then it looks like he pulls an entire bag out of his pocket. And it looks like just a very long sack that he then simply hands. And there's some treasure. Now,
Dump it out.
What about
dawn
the
is approaching.
cheese?
It is an empty sack.
Ah, okay.
Dawn approaches soon, and my work is better done in the evening and at night, so I must bid you adieu.
Until
As-
next time, my king.
Of course, the veil between the worlds is closing, and so I must return to my own realm.
Like,
But thank you for your assistance.
You know
I
what?
wanted some pumpkin
Thank
pie.
you for yours. Weird tradition. Weird rites. But I'm kind of okay with this.
It was a pleasure.
Do remember the next time to show the proper deference to beings of higher authority than you. Ta-ta! And he closes the door behind him as he goes back into the door that he came.
Well, that was certainly a character.
What's with this bag? Like, it's...
Can I see it?
Yeah.
I look into it.
There is nothing in the bag.
I reach my hand into the bag.
There does not appear to be anything in the bag.
Does there appear to be a bottom of the bag?
Yep, there does appear to be a bottom of the bag.
I put the bag over my head and say, "Boo! I'm a ghost."
And that gives some much needed levity to the night.
I guess tricks aren't all that bad.
You guys have some weird customs here. But I like this one.
we go home and go to bed now?
I'll
God,
hand the
yes.
bag back.
God, yes. Yeah. Oh, come on.
Let's go.
No, I'm not doing this tonight.
No.
And with that, you all promptly leave.
Yeah.
And
back.
return
bed.
back to
Going to bed.
the downtown area of Dusky Shores.
Yep.
As you are all rushing back, the way seems to go faster than before. Maybe it's just the pace that you're picking up, maybe that it's just with some newfound actual treasure in your midst, it makes your steps a bit lighter. You're not sure. But you get back around daybreak and get the remainder of a much needed rest in. But you could swear that you hear, after you hear that moan in the haunted house, just a faint whisper of a chuckling laugh on the breeze. Sort of almost a maniacal laughter that seems to carry off into the wind.
Oh boy.
And when you awake the next day, you find just a nice hot pumpkin pie sitting on your table, on your common room table.
Yes! Pie for breakfast is the best.
So we took
And
a long rest.
And that is where we will end this chapter of Tales of Jemmora Leafdancer.
Oh, man.
Happy Halloween, everyone!
Oh, man, that was so good.
Now, for some bookkeeping,
Yes.
the stone and the bag are magical items.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
That spending an hour
Yeah.
with them would have alerted you to their properties. The bag is indeed a bag of holding.
Nice.
It just didn't have anything
We
inside
have a
it.
bag of holding. We have a bag of holding.
Yeah.
It's not true. It had me in it for a little bit.
The stone is a luck stone.
Ooh.
And I'm just trying to find because it's a specific luck stone. And I'm just trying to find what exactly it does. So bear with me for a moment.
Which book is it out of?
You know what? I'm just gonna look it up on the old D&D Beyond.
The Cursed Luckstone?
Nope.
I don't know then.
Yeah, so you get a +1 bonus to ability checks and saving throws. Does require attunement.
Cool.
So yeah. I was wrong. It's not actually a special one. It's just the one that's in the Dungeon Master's Guide. Okay. So yeah. Thank you everyone for joining us for Tales of Jemmora Leafdancer. We hope you have enjoyed this adventure. Join us in 2 weeks for Tales of Jemmora: The Kraken's Wake as we return to Twillin with the Backstreet Sharks and just their absolute idiocy.
And I will be in May full cosplay. So
There we
have
go.
fun
Perfect.
coming to see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It will be the day after Halloween, so
I understand that.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I will not be, but
I will be.
so yep. Be sure to join us for that. If you want to see more content from 8-Bit Adventures, be sure to check out 8-bitadventures.com. If you want to help support that content, you could become a patron at patreon.com/8bitadventures and get cool things like access to exclusive comics for patrons only, featuring my dog.
Yeah.
There will be other benefits as well, like discounts for merchandise, as well as bonus pie cakes each month. I'm able to do that now because there aren't too many patrons and I can do it manually. So we have that. If you want to learn more about the Jemmora setting, you can head on over to... That's the wrong way. Whoop, right here, Jemmora.com. And over there, it's all articles about different aspects of the campaign setting, different areas. You can see there is a write-up of the town of Dusky Shores on the site right now. So, and VODs of all of our episodes are up there as well as they go up and become available. So yeah. Anyone else have anything they want to promote?
No, I mean,
Okay.
we'll, you can catch Sean and I on Wednesday for podcast
Yes.
next week.
Yeah, next stream on this channel is Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. for the 8-Bit Adventures podcast. We're probably going to be talking about Ring Fit Adventure.
Are you getting it? Did you get it?
I have to check to see if it says GameStop said there were no pre-orders available, so I have to check tomorrow. So
Remember, I also go to Holyoke a lot.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So
That can be made possible.
with that, we're going to head out. So have fun, everyone. Happy gaming. And enjoy your pie cake.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, folks.
Bye.